Hey there, it's Dynamo22 with another battle for you. This is going to be a 4th Gen NU match again, and it's going to be against Pikminhero, and he's a great guy, and I suggest you go check out his channel. It will be in the description, as always. And I've actually taken the time to throw some nicknames on my guys, so if you can guess, if you can get the reference on any of them, then, you win. Like, you get major props. So go ahead. They're pretty out there, but, take a shot. And, I don't think I really have anything else I need to say before getting into the battle. I'm gonna lead off with Sandslash because I have faced him before, and so I like to not use the exact same lineup I did last time. So instead of my normal Pidgeot, I'm gonna go with Sandslash. I'm gonna throw an Earthquake at him because even not being a prediction master, I am pretty much 100% certain that a Dynamic Punch is coming. And Sandslash, takes that pretty well. I look at my team. I have nothing that wants to take an Earthquake, or not an Earthquake, a Dynamic Punch. So I'm gonna just go for staying in here, and I luckily don't hit myself in the confusion, and I put up the rocks because I kind of expected to switch there, expecting me to hurt myself in confusion or switch out or just something. I expected him to switch into a ground resist, but he just goes into a generally bulky Pokemon. So I go into Ampharos, and the reference here is a movie because you're gonna need a hint there. It's just some acronym. So think movie. And I know Ampharos can take Slowbro because I'm super effective, and I have Heal Bell in case he wants to Toxic me, which he does. And I decided to go for the Signal Beam over the Discharge, fearing that would be too obvious, and that he'd go into a Ground type. But he actually goes into a Bug Resist, which is, interesting. So I just want to kill this thing off with the Discharge, but he actually protects, which, if I would have seen that coming, I would have used Heal Bell, but I didn't know Machoke felt like using Protect. So this is an interesting turn here. He's going to go for the Dynamic Punch. It's going to hurt because my physical defenses aren't the greatest. I'm going to live, be confused. He's going to Static, but it doesn't matter because I also don't hurt myself in confusion again. And I discharge him, and that's going to kill him. So, interesting series of status events, and also I'm going to die to Toxic right here. So, it's a double down. And I'm debating between going into Girafarig or Typhlosion, because Typhlosion makes a good guy to go to on double down, because he scares out half the things that he faces, and then, most things they switch into me are going to get 2-hit KO'd by some combination of my moves, so it's a good way to just crush something. But I decided to go into Girafarig, because it works well if I get a good matchup and I get to start setting up. I can get a nice thing there. So I go for a Calm Mind, hoping after the +1 I'll be able to take 2 hits. But looking at that first damage, I wouldn't have. So I decided to stay in and kind of hope for a miss, because you don't want to switch something into Typhlosion. You're going to get killed. It's too boss. So I could have, after +2, lived from that health with the leftovers. I'm fairly certain of it. But as soon as the thought, get greedy, entered my head, something told me, Obi-Wan is don't do it. You're just asking to get critted in something terrible. So I go into Aqua Yosh, and to get this one winning, you have to guess the actual name of the thing I call Aqua Yosh. And so he goes into Slowbro, which I was fairly certain he was going to do, but I figured I'd just go for the Surf anyway, and then hit him with a T-Bolt to kind of catch him off guard. But it doesn't really hurt him that much, which is, rather unfortunate, because this Slowbro is just a pain in the side. He's just going to Toxic me. I'm going to go for another Thunderbolt, knowing full well that he's probably going to just slack off here. But I was hoping, maybe crit or something. And he's just trying to Toxic Stall out my Lapras, which, Lapras I found out makes a great recipient of my Girafarig when going to Typhlosion isn't going to be the greatest idea. Because you can't just do this nice little Toxic thing here, because I carry a second Heal Beller, because what do you know, Ampharos is always dead. Seriously, he's always the first thing on my team to get killed, other than when I let Pidgeot get killed. But anyway, I always end up switching into him when he dies. So we're just kind of having a stall fest here, and I realize, my battle style is just not conducive to making entertaining battles, because I just kind of switch into something that can take a lot of hits, but since it has so much defense, its attacking stats are crap, so we just kind of do a bunch of no damage for a while. So he goes for a psychic here, and now since I'm not toxic, there's no point in slack off stalling me, and eventually I'm going to get a crit or a paralysis, which is why I'm just staying in here and T-bolting everything. He goes into Nidoqueen to, absorb the Thunderbolt because he can, which is, fine with me because I can just hit him with a super effective stab attack. But he was just using that as a double switch to get a free switch into his Politoed on, not having a Thunderbolt. So, I just Ice Beam there because it's the same power as Surf and you can get a freeze. But, I don't. So now I go for a Thunderbolt because, I'm at full health. I'm pretty sure I can live anything he throws at me. And it actually almost kills him, which, considering most Politoads are special defense, walls, sucks. And then he Focus Blasts me, and it does a lot, considering +1. So I'm thinking he's like Specs Politoad or something, because he already has a bulky water in that, I think I just called it Slowbro earlier. It is Slow King. He's not even nicknamed, it says Slow King right on there. But, yeah, he's like, then the world will turn to Ash, and Ash is like, oh, that's me. So he goes into Espeon here, and he's got the Grass Knot, which is a little, unfortunate. I was hoping, Psychic would be, his best move to hit me with, because it's only base like 85 power. But with the +1 special defense, I do live. It's kind of funny, he's outspeeding me even at +2, but yeah, I go for the Ice Beam, and it doesn't do as much as I would really have hoped, considering he has Life Orb and all that. So, I'm going to go into Pidgeot here just to go to the Quick Attack. I almost went to it on that last Grass Knot, just to, make him mad at that. I still had that first, but I figured at like 31 HP it wasn't really worth switching into a Psychic and dying. So he's going to go into his Typhlosion here again. And I figure I can live one hit from full health, especially since he can't hit me with a full health Eruption. And he goes for some super effective hidden power, which I'm guessing is Ice. And Pidgeot actually takes that fairly well, which is, great. I take some recoil, and I get some leftovers, and I went for Brave Bird, and I Brave Birded everything, and, he's dead. So he goes back into the frickin' Slow King, which I can never kill. So I'm going to go for a U-turn here, get out of there, and, it doesn't kill him, and he's going to go for Slack Off, I'm pretty sure, because otherwise, then I could hit him and actually kill him if he went for like a Toxic or something stupid. So I go into Sandslash here, just because of my remaining guys, it's the one fitting option I have. And I'm going to go for the Earthquake, and I finally get that crit I was waiting for with the Lapras, which is great because his health is now sufficiently to the point where I can revenge kill it, and his Surf is actually going to kill me, which is sad. I mean, I know it's sad, but I'm doubting he has special attack investment, and I had a fairly good chunk of health left there. So he's gonna get some health back. I'm gonna go back into Pidgeot, and I almost went for the U-turn here just because I thought it would kill it, but I wasn't gonna screw around with that crap. I really, 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 really wanted to see the end of that Slow King. So I just click the Brave Bird everything button, and he goes into his Nidoqueen, which I forgot was his last. And yeah, I'm just gonna Brave Bird him again here so I can finish off the game with Typhlosion, because I'm pretty sure at the amount of health he's at, I can take him with my not very effective attacks. So I'm gonna get some more damage on Nidoqueen to make sure it can't live anything. Thankfully, he just goes for the Ice Beam. I thought about roosting somewhere in there, because I could probably have accomplished on either of them, but I was actually late to get somewhere, so I needed to finish up this battle. So I go into Typhlosion, and I'm just he's my only attacker left actually. I just have him and Giraffe, but I've got this game wrapped up, because after the Stealth Rock, he's got like that much HP, and even not very effective Eruption Space like 120, 112 power. So yeah, that's gonna kill him. I thought about just going for the Solar Beam there, considering he already knows I'm Power Herb Solar Beam, so it wouldn't like ruin the surprise. But yeah, it's a good thing I didn't. I also thought about going into, like, that was my plan, basically, to get rid of that Slowking after everything else was failing me. But if you stick around and watch into the future, you'll find out that I would have been very angry had I chosen to do that. So just keep that in mind